Hello, dear students. Welcome to the online education of class 6 science. Dear students, in the previous classes, I have been discussing about the lesson with climate, weather, habitat, and its adaptations. The previous class, I discussed about the adaptation of camel and fish to two different habitats, that is desert as well as water, as we have made a list of the plants and animals which are found in desert as well as water, sea water. So that has been completed. So dear students, in the today's class, let's go for the next concept. So in the previous class, we have taken the two examples of animals from a wide range of plants and animals that are available on this earth. Okay, so in all these wide variety of animals that we find on the earth, so we find that some of them, these organisms, they have developed some certain features that will help them to live in their surroundings in which they can normally found. So in which surroundings they can live happily, survive, they can survive. They have developed to, in order to survive there, they have developed some features. So the presence of such specific features or habits, certain habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surroundings, is called a adaptation. So now exactly we know that what is adaptation and what is habitat. Okay, so what do you mean by habitat? See, we have seen here. So camel, it has been adapted to desert conditions by making changes in its body conditions. Means by living the less amount of the sweat is totally will not be sweated more, and dung is dry, and so less amount of urine is passed. So this is what the kind of adaptation it has. Long legs, storing the water in its arm. So this is all the certain features, presence of certain features to adapt to live in that particular place, survive in that place, is called a adaptation. Even fish, streamlined body shape, fins. Okay, so these are all the adaptations that we find in particular area where they are found normally. So here, the generally what definition we call them for adaptation. So the presence of certain features means characteristics, or certain habits, features. So this is present in a particular plant or animal, which it is present in particular plant or animal, which enable a plant or animal to live in its surroundings. A particular plant or a particular animal to live in its surroundings, it develops certain features or characteristics. Okay, so this is known as adaptation. Quite simple here definition. So some animal or a plant has to live in some particular, survive in particular place, any habit, any place. So what does it do? It develops certain features, characteristics or habits, so that it can adapt to that, so that it can live or survive happily. Means it cannot get any problems over there. So any no, for a food or its climate, so to get their food or in order to escape from their some. So different ways of adaptation it develops, certain features it develops, so that it can enable that plant or animal to live in that place, in their surroundings. That is known as adaptation. So different animals are adapted to their surroundings in different ways. So different kinds of animals, they are adapted to their surroundings in different ways. Each animal is adapted to their surrounding in different way. Camel adapted to its region or the place where it is living, desert, in different way. Fish adapted in different way, like that. Okay, so now, then what is habitat? The surroundings where organisms live is called habitat, or the place where plants and animals, organisms is nothing but plants and animals, the place where plants and animals live is called a habitat. Okay, so the organisms depend on habitat for some reasons. Why they need to live or stay in a habitat? See, different kinds of organisms, why do they need to stay for in a habitat? It is for their food. In order to get the food, to get the water, air, as well as shelter. If these all necessary things are available in that particular place, then the particular animal lives over there, and this is called as habitat. It's a habitat. Okay, if any animal wants to live in a particular place, it thinks of four characteristics, necessities there. One is it should get the food over there. It whatever the food it eats should be available over there in that particular place. Water should be available. Air is available everywhere, not a problem. Then shelter means it particular place, it can live happily, so, it can survive, safely. So such place it finds, that is called, we call it as shelter. Okay, so they need the shelter habitat for food, air, water, and shelter. Okay, so here the habitat is nothing but dwelling place, staying place, or rest place. Okay, so several kinds of animals may share same habitat or different habitat. So now let's understand what are the different kinds of habitat. So the plants and animals, they live, if they live on a land area or land, then we call that particular area or particular habitat as terrestrial habitat. If the plants and animals live on a land, then such a habitat is called terrestrial habitat. So what are the examples of terrestrial habitat? Means what are the living places on the earth or terrestrial place? So those are grasslands, forests, deserts, coastal areas, and mountain regions. Remember once again, the examples for the animals and plants that live on the earth is, we call it as terrestrial habitat. So examples for terrestrial habitat are grassland, desert, mountain regions, coastal areas, okay, forests. These are all the different places now where we find the different kinds of animals and plants. So these are all come under the group of terrestrial, means they all they are all on the earth. Okay, on the earth, on the land. So hence we call these all habitats as terrestrial habitat. Okay, yes. So on the other end, the plants and animals that live in the water, we call that habitat as aquatic habitat. If the plants and animals that, if they live in the water, then we call that habitat as aquatic habitat. So what are the examples for aquatic habitat? The ponds, swamps, rivers, lakes, seas, oceans. These are all different examples of aquatic habitat. Okay, so there are large variations in the forests, grasslands, then deserts, coastal, and mountain regions. Okay, which are located in different parts of the world and or India. So that's why it is true for all aquatic habitats which are present as well here. So dear students, I hope you understood today's concept. So let me continue in tomorrow's next concept in the tomorrow's class. Thank you and have a nice day.